As angry and bewildered, stood at the gates of Coventry Airport.
We are desolate at the loss of Jill, absolutely desolate.
Though for some, the death of a colleague has not deflected their main purpose, to save animals from export. Others are not so certain that the sacrifice was worth it. According to the police, the victim was with other demonstrators trying to get in front of a truck carrying calves.
Sadly, 2 ran to the front of it, and this is the bit that's a little bit unclear. 2 ran to the front of it, and 1 slipped under the front wheel.
The dead woman, Jill Phipps, seen here in the green hooded jacket, was a regular demonstrator. ITN filmed her last week trying to stop the veal trucks, very much in the way she's reported to have done today.
It happened just there. She was a lovely girl. She was smashing. She just came, she hadn't been here all day.
The police have maintained a strong presence here since flights resumed, though protesters have claimed that their rights have not been thoroughly considered. Since the veal flights resumed here at Coventry Airport, demonstrators have expressed their determination to stop them. Unfortunately, that determination has resulted in the death of one protester. And a short while ago, the calves Jill Phipps lost her life trying to turn back were flown out, though Phoenix Aviation say they're suspending more flights for now. Eric McInnes, News at 10, Coventry Airport.
The Royal Air Force is sending 9 murders and torture done by government hit squads in the apartheid era. President Mandela's government wants to set up a truth commission to get all the terrible facts known. People who made full confessions would be spared trial. Our Africa correspondent Mark Austin has this special report from Johannesburg.
Every Sunday, Sapati Melangeni takes her 8-year-old son to visit the grave of her husband, murdered by the agents of apartheid. She's never learnt the truth about exactly who did it or why. ANC activist Marius Schoen was also targeted by the hit squads. A plan to assassinate him backfired, but his wife and young daughter were blown up by a parcel bomb.
She was a very special child. Her death is with me all the time. It's something dreadful that happened that shouldn't have happened, and I'm not involved in a witch hunt against the people who did it. And yet, should there be evidence of who actually did it, I think they should be tried.
This is where apartheid's hit squads operated from, a farm in the hills outside Pretoria, the headquarters known as Vlakplaas. Over more than a decade, thousands of people were killed by government-sponsored violence, by car bombs, shootings, and an orchestrated campaign of killing aimed at staving off what was seen as the communist threat.
Suspects were brought here, beaten up here.
We return to Vlakplaas with a former commander who's come clean. He supports the new government's plan for a truth commission and is now urging security force colleagues to confront the horrors of the past.
Stabbing a man 45 times, cutting his throat from side to side, hitting him with a wheel spanner over the head, cut his ears. We did that. I orchestrated it. The relatives of those that suffered losses of their dear ones, they've got the right to know. The world has got a right to know about what happened here, just as the world had a right to know what happened in the German camps.
Mr. Coetzee.
This week, ITN filmed an extraordinary meeting between perpetrator and victim. Coetzee face-to-face with the man he was ordered to kill and whose family Coetzee's colleagues did kill.
I was the man to do the dirty work. I didn't even know you. It's the first time I've seen you in my life.
What was the necessity to shoot me in Botswana?
I wish I could tell you, as ridiculous as it might sound.
So it was purely a question of following the orders of very evil, very misguided people.
Yes, absolutely. I will have to live with my past forever. It will hang on to me, no matter what I do.
And you want people like Dirk to face trial for what they did?
That would be my feeling.
But the Truth Commission has many critics, including, predictably, many security force members who are based here at Vlakplaas. They fear a one-sided witch hunt, where ANC activists who committed acts of violence will not be held up to the same scrutiny.
What is the danger is what's going to happen about the treatment of people on the one side, which will not be the same as treatment of the people on the other side. In other words, justice.
Marius Schoen believes apartheid's political leaders should eventually face Nuremberg-style trials for the murder of his family. Sapati Melangeni and others are less intent on revenge. They simply want the answers they've been denied for so long. Mark Austin, News at 10, Johannesburg.
The search for reconciliation in South Africa. Paul Merson made his football comeback tonight. Bill Neely reports.
A minor hitch and a one-day delay in Discovery's mission to space. Disappointment for one British astronaut, but still a challenge ahead. Michael Foale is about to fulfill a boyhood dream and become the first Briton to walk in space.
I know lots of people want to do it. I'm very lucky. You must understand that some of us have wanted to be astronauts since we were 6, and I was one of them.
Foale is still asleep and won't know that the mission he's trained for months has been postponed. He's due to walk in space for 5 hours, tethered by the leg to a shuttle travelling at 17,500 miles an hour. He'll test a new spacesuit and lift a satellite weighing more than a ton.
For the first time in my life, I'll be doing something on the shuttle where if I mess it up, I'll be instantly famous. You know, it was very hard to do that on my first 2 flights.
This will be the 67th shuttle mission. They've become so routine that it's easy to forget the enormous dangers involved. Michael Foale and the others will be sitting on top of what is basically a controlled explosion of thousands of tons of fuel and gas that will propel this plane from here to Earth orbit in 8 minutes. They've practiced for mishaps. This delay is due to a faulty navigation unit. Not a major problem, but ever since the Space Shuttle Challenger blew up just after liftoff, every mechanical glitch is viewed as potentially life-threatening. Michael Foale and the rest are due now to lift off in darkness early on Friday morning. Bill Neely, News at 10, Cape Canaveral.
And fingers crossed for that launch on Friday. That's News at 10 tonight.